Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, guys. My name is Fiki Sembilan. My ID number is T2019-CC172. Well, in this record, I'd like to discuss with my friend Diki about 5 hypotheses in second language acquisition. Okay, for the first, about acquisition learning distinction, it is perhaps the most fundamental of all the hypotheses to be presented here. It states that adults have two distinct and independent ways of developing competence in second language. Maybe for the second hypothesis will be explained by my partner Diki. Please, time is yours.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, guys. I would like to discuss about the second hypothesis. It was a natural order hypothesis. Actually, I am not really understand. I'm not sure I can describe what this, but as I know, this is the one of the most exciting discoveries in language acquisition research. In recent years, has been the finding that the acquisition of grammatical structures proceeds in a predictable order. Acquirers of a given language tend to acquire certain grammatical structures early and others later. The agreement among individual acquirers is not always 100%, but there are clear statistically significant similarities. Perhaps it is, as I know, what's natural order hypothesis. And for the third hypothesis, as I know, is monitor hypothesis, but exactly I didn't get the point. Perhaps my partner, Vicky, can explain it.
Well, thanks for the explanation about natural order hypothesis. Then now I would like to continue again the third hypothesis about monitor hypothesis. Well, while the acquisition learning distinction claims that two separate processes coexist in adult, it doesn't state how they are used in second language performance. The monitor hypothesis posits that acquisition and learning are used in very specific ways. Normally, acquisition initiates our utterances in second language and it is responsible for our fluency. Then learning has only one. Learning has only one function, and that is as a monitor or editor. So whether they will be a monitor or editor, just two of it. Just choose one of it. Learning comes into play only to make changes in the form of our utterance after it has been produced by the acquired system. Maybe that's the key about the third hypothesis. And then I will ask about the fourth hypothesis, about the input of hypothesis. Maybe you can explain it for me.
Okay, talking about the input hypothesis. Actually, we will take much more time with this hypothesis than we did with the others for two reasons exactly. First is much of this material is relatively new, while the other hypotheses have been described and discussed already in several published books and articles. The second reason is its importance, both theoretical and practical. The input hypothesis attempts to answer what is perhaps the most important question in our field and gives an answer that has a potential impact on all areas of language teaching. The important question is, how do we acquire language? It is the important question. If the monitor hypothesis is correct that acquisition is central and learning more peripheral, then the goal of our pedagogy should be to encourage acquisitions. The question of how we acquire that becomes crucial. Uh, that that is that I got from the material about the input hypothesis. Perhaps for the last one, the affective filter hypothesis, my partners Fiki can could you explain it because I didn't get the point about it.
All right, that was very nice explanation about the input of hypothesis. Now I will try to explain or make you understand about the last of hypothesis. It is the effective filter of hypothesis. Um, as we know that the effective filter of hypothesis captures the relationship between effective variables and the process of second language acquisition by positing that acquirers vary with respect to the strengths of level respect to the strength or level of their effective filters. Those whose attitudes are not optimal for second language acquisition will not only tend to seek less input, but they will also have a high or strong affective filter. Even if they understand the message, the input will not reach the part of the brain responsible for language acquisition or the language acquisition device. Those with attitudes more conducive to second language acquisition will not only seek and obtain more input, but they will also have a lower or weaker filter. They will be more open to the input and it will strike deeper. Maybe that's all, Diki, about five hypotheses in detail. Um, Maybe if you have some additional information you can explain, but if you do not have it, can we finish our discussion tonight?
Okay, exactly. I have got what I want. Right now, I have known about five hypotheses in second language acquisitions, and thank you for your explanations and for sharing time for this night. Maybe that's all. Yeah, yes, you can close the discussion for tonight. I say, thank you very much for your nice explanation tonight.